All right. Make sure that we're live. All right, different little format here I see on YouTube today, so they've changed things up for me. Let me know if you can see and hear me. That'll get us started. Welcome, my name is Jessie. I'm with Decker Truckline, and we're talking about, well, first of all, this is our live Q&A. We do this every Tuesday at noon Central. It's really an opportunity for you to jump on, ask your questions, stay updated with anything that's going on here at Decker, whether they're updates on Transflo or the Geotab system, which is what we're going to be talking about today, or if the policy updates, new positions, all of that kind of thing. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you guys have any questions, put in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Say hi. Hey, Frog. Good to have you. So make sure you say hi. Let us know where you're at. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. If you're asking about a specific position though, or what we have available in your area, I need to know where you live. So start with your zip code or your zip code and your city and state. That'll get us started. So again, welcome, and let's jump in. We're talking about the Omnitrax. Omnitrax is what we've had for the ELD. We're transitioning from the Omnitrax to the Transflo Geotab. So this is probably going to be new to you. That's okay. That's why the questions are available here for you. So yes, I can see you. I see nothing else. All right, awesome. Hey, Aim. Amy's here. Good deal. So we're going to jump in. Let's get started. First off, the new Geotab, and hopefully I don't keep saying Omnitrax, but hopefully I say it right. It is the Geotab with Transflo. So Transflo and Geotab, they basically partnered. And they've come together to provide us not only with the ELD system, but navigation as well. So you'll have the ALK, and I know I'm giving you a lot of acronyms here. Basically, the premier mapping or routing software, and that's integrated into this Transflo as well. So Frog says, what is the triangle thing I keep hearing about? And I don't mean to be on the back of Bucky, a little slow moving vehicle. Well, the triangle thing is Inside the Triangle. That is our podcast, and it is released every Thursday. I mean, you can go and listen to it whenever, but it is released every Thursday. You can just search Inside the Triangle or Decker Truckline podcast in your main podcasting listening, whether it be Spotify or Google Podcast or iTunes or whatever it might be. If you listen to one of those, just look us up. You can also go to our website, drivedecker.com or Decker Truckline, either one of them, and there are links to the podcast there as well. Last week we had one of our veteran drivers hop on there with Darren. Darren Ladley is our host for the Inside the Triangle podcast, and the two of them visited about really kind of a reflection of the last 30 years. We like to do driver spotlights, so anybody who's interested in doing a driver spotlight, let us know, and you can contact us at podcast@deckermail.com. I'm going to throw that in there. Actually, podcast@deckermail. Oh, Anna beat me to it. And that's why she's so awesome. Thank you, Anna. So podcast@deckermail.com. That'll get you an opportunity to ask the questions. And if you record your voice, do a voice recording and email it, we can play that video or that audio, I guess, on the podcast itself. You asking the questions, and we'll have the right person answering that for you. To get not only the right answer, but also the details as well. But yes, the podcast is just that. It's Inside the Triangle, and it's really an opportunity to tell a little bit about the company itself, as well as dive deeper into some of our drivers' history and what's changed and what's not. So this week we'll have Tiffany on. Tiffany Geeks is the one in charge of this new Geotab Transflo transition. So once you get onto this and you are as happy as can be, make sure you give her a shout out for putting in all this effort to make sure that it's easier to use for you. Her goal really with this, and I'll let her explain during the podcast because she does a great job of it, and she knows what she's talking about. But really her goal was to make it easier for you guys to use, to prevent delays in getting, doing your ELDs, doing your elogs. When you're going into a shipper or receiver, the downtime that you guys were having with our Omnitrack system and the Qualcomm Omnitrack system, just with repairs, having to reboot things, and just those frustrations that were coming about, we're trying to eliminate those completely for you and just make it not only easier to use, but just, do it, forget it, and move on to the next thing type of thing. So we don't want it to hold you up. Anna, thanks. ALK Technologies is the transportation technology company dedicated to defining the optimal route to success through innovative routing, mileage mapping, mobile navigation, and solutions. So really, with that fancy talk, what it's telling you is it's upgrading or updating you constantly on the traffic, road closures, weather warnings, anything like that. So those are all updates for you. That are coming through the ALK, which is, again, partnered with Transflo and the Geotab. So Geotab is the unit that we're using, the new ELD system. And Transflo is the software that you'll be using. It's also integrated onto your phone. So you probably are already using the Decker app, the Transflo app. If you are, awesome, you're familiar with the Transflo itself. Now, that being said, once we hook up the ELD to the truck itself, and when we're hooking it up to the truck, we're hooking that, what I mean by that is you're going to have the tablet that's in the truck. Let's give you a visual so you know what I'm talking about. That's not the right picture. Here you go. Here's an idea of what you'll see. Some of the pictures right here that you're seeing are the Transflo unit. It's a tablet. You can kind of see it right here. I'm hoping you can see, maybe you can't see my mouse, but it's right there. It's just the tablet itself that's sitting there. And yes, we have tried this out. We had 10 beta testers testing out this specific unit. We actually had multiple units that we were testing out. Some of them, they were not that great, and that's why we decided on this on the Transflo Geotab unit. But yeah, what you're seeing are pictures of the Transflo itself. Now, what you're also, if you can see that it's a blue, our Transflo app in Corbin, I'm not sure if it's the Transflo app that you're referring to. He says, I want to bash the app, but I'll refrain. I'm not sure if it's the Transflo, maybe it is that you're referring to, the Geotab or not. But I do want to let you know that we did have a couple of different softwares that or ELD systems that we were testing, and by far this one was the one that came out ahead of the rest. We had some that were requiring multiple units being used, which was difficult on our drivers, on those using it. It just wasn't user friendly. This one definitely seemed to be. But Corbin and anybody else out there, that if you have any feedback for us, we do want it, because this is really about making it easier for you guys. So yes, we want the feedback. If you want to send it directly to us, facebook.com/DTLink. That way we can gather it. Oh, the Decker app? Well, good, I got a solution for that too. So if any feedback on that, we definitely appreciate. Okay, so I'm going to address Corbin's comment right now with that Decker Transflo app. We had been transitioning with the Decker Transflo app. It is basically, it's a Decker app. It's using the Transflo software, but and it's supposed to be providing you with the settlements, your scorecard, all really beneficial information. However, it doesn't have some of the specifics on the load. It doesn't have the ALK routing. It was limited to some of that information. Well, now we have some of that'll link in with the new Transflo Geotab. Right now we're going to be using a light version. So that light version won't have some of the information like your scorecard on it temporarily. It will eventually have it. We'll have the smart drive, the scorecard, and what else? I think Decker announcements. Those are the things that will eventually be on the system once it's upgraded. But we first need to get everybody onto it and transitioned. Once you're transitioned, then we'll go ahead and get that upgrade for you again. So we're going to go back a step in order to move forward 10 paces. Make sense? Makes sense to me in the long run. In the long run, it'll be super easy. It is going to take a little bit of getting used to, but just be open-minded to this, because it's new technology, and sometimes we are really resistant against the new technology. But I think once you get your hands on it, you'll see how user-friendly this is. I mean, you've got this tablet in hand, and you're able to just touch. It's a touch screen. You're able to just touch to where you want. The screen is easy to read. It's easy to navigate through. It's just not as questionable and confusing as the old system that we had. So before, again, we had the Omnitrax, the Omnitrax system, Qualcomm Omnitrax, and it just wasn't as user-friendly. We're having to do things multiple times, and rebooting was really to me was the most frustrating thing. So yes, it'll have the enhanced driver scorecard, all of that information available to you. So what you'll be seeing is on your phone itself. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. So on the phone, okay, bear with me here. This is going to take me just a second. I want to really give you an idea of this. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can move this ahead here. So this is what the Transflo app is going to look like as it delays. So right here in that upper left-hand corner, that's the Transflo app. That is different than the app than the download look, I guess, that we had previously. So before you had a red, it just said Decker Truckline when you were doing it. Yes, that's the Decker branded app, which, Corbin, I'm guessing that's what you're referring to, because we did have some frustrations with that, and part of that was because it wasn't yet integrated with the Transflo Geotab system in the truck. Well, now it will be. And I have this pause, which isn't going to give us anywhere.
This is the basic Transflo app.
Give me a sec if I can mute. There we go. So this is what you'll see on the Transflo app on your phone. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'd like to answer them as we go along so that you can kind of stay with me here. But this is what it's going to look like. You've got the loads on the left-hand side. There we go. Sound effects, sorry. Dang nabbit, rabbit. There we go. You've got the loads here. You've got scan documents, the Transflo assistance. This is the Copilot truck navigation. You've got accidents, OS and D, all of that. When you click on loads, you'll see what's available, what you've accepted, any completed loads, what's in transit. And then, of course, if you go back, and I'm not really staying with my screen here, but if you go back, you'll be able to scan any documents you need to get into. It'll pop up a screen, just like your onboard scanner that you have in the truck. You'll be able to take a picture of it and crop it. So it's better than it's better than the onboard scanner that you currently have in the truck, because you can crop it. You will actually get a visual of what is being sent along with a confirmation number. And that you can take a picture of it using your phone. You can also take a picture of it using the tablet. So they're going to work hand in hand together, which I think that integration itself is going to make you a happy camper. Corbin says, yep, guess who isn't getting, because it bugged out, he isn't getting guaranteed pay because it bugged out. Well, let's look into that, because if it's because it's bugged out, that's different than not qualifying for available for dispatch and that kind of stuff. Hang on, Corbin, I gotta write myself a note for you. Guaranteed pay. Okay. Now, also going through this, the main manual. The main manual. You'll see a lot of that information with updates for COVID and instructions, inspection cards. All of that information is within the Transflo app as well. And you can scroll down. You can see the chat. You can see, like I said, the load information. How to report an accident. Contact safety. What the procedure is for going through and talking to safety. But yeah, you can see how that is all right there on your phone app, so you can access it there. You'll also be able to access it in the truck. Now the truck is going to look a little bit different, obviously, because it is a tablet and not a phone, so you've got more of a horizontal than a vertical look. But let me pause this for just one moment and get you over to I've got maybe what I'll show you is I've got a presentation I was going to show you. I'm cheating, but I think this will help you to better see what the tablet will look like, the statuses that are available in the tablet, and how you can maneuver around it, looking at your logs, when you go into an inspection, what it'll look like, and whatnot. So let me get that over to you so that you can see that as well. Am I missing any questions right now? Yeah, like Anna said, the Geotab will have the document recognition. So if there are any mistakes or if it's blurry or whatever, you'll be able to see it, and then from there you can fix it. You can rescan it so that they're getting a clear copy of it, and there's no question. Whereas when you're doing the onboard scanner currently, the one that we currently have, unless of course you're using your Transflo app, but if you're using the onboard scanner that we have right now, you can see that you don't know if it went through all the way. You'll get a confirmation, but you don't know what it looks like. Can they read it? Did you put the wrong side on? That type of thing. So Amy says, I'm guessing that's a photo of cute. Yep, mine. Those are mine. Thank you, Amy. Thanks, Anna. Yes. Okay, so here's the Transflo app. This is going to be available to you as well on our blog. We've got a couple of links Anna's got for you that'll keep you updated on it. I want it to fit on just perfect, and of course it won't. There we go. This is really what it's going to look like for you on the phone. And as I'm not a driver, some of this isn't available to me because I don't have a load on me. But you could see with the Transflo app, you've got the documents, your loads, your safety, weather, the company portal, the electronic, the hours of service, so your elogs, your payroll. And some of this information will come, it won't be the light version once we do all the upgrades. But the most important thing right now is to get you using this Transflo Geotab unit so that you're getting used to it. And then once we get everybody on it, then we'll upgrade to the full version where you'll be able to do pretty much anything on that. What we're starting with, as of yesterday, we installed our first, besides the beta testers, we installed our first Transflo Geotab unit. We're starting with our local drivers out of Fort Dodge, just in case there are any issues, which we don't expect any issues because with our beta testers, it went really smoothly. We didn't have the hiccups that we had with some of these other units that we were testing, or with the ones that we currently have in the trucks. So we don't expect there to be any issues. However, we're not dumb. It is electronics. We want to make sure that it is a smooth transition. If something wasn't hooked up correctly, or if something isn't working, we want to be able to bring you back to the terminal and take care of it right away. And if we're putting it in some of our over-the-road drivers' trucks right away, that's going to cut into your hours. That's going to cut into your pay. With our local drivers, with our guaranteed pays that we have already implemented with our local drivers or with our shift pay, that's less of a concern for us in cutting into your miles, because Obviously, it's not going to affect your pay because that's not something that you have any control over. It's not a driver service failure or anything like that. So that being said, we want to go ahead and take care of our locals first and make sure that it works well before we start getting it out to all of our different divisions, all of our over-the-road drivers, and additional or guaranteed pay and minimum pay, all of that. So we want to make sure that we first take care of those who have it. Hey, Risky Red, how are you? Almost missed us, but you made it. I never had any doubt. It is user-friendly. I've been playing with it, and I felt like it was pretty user-friendly. I've been playing with it more so on the Transflo app on my phone, obviously, but just being able to comprehend the steps it was so much easier for me to comprehend it using the Transflo Geotab unit versus the Omnitrax navigation, the Qualcomm. That took a lot more brain power for me to maneuver around than this. And I'm hoping that more of you are like me, where this one just is, it's simpler and it's just a cleaner layout. It's easy. I don't know. I believe it's easier, and that's what we want to make for you. Not only easier, but you're not going to have that downtime where you're having to reboot, where you're having to come back to Fort Dodge or to one of the terminals to get it worked on because it needs repair or some part of it's not going to work. If it stops working on you or you need it replaced, if it comes to that, which we're hoping doesn't happen, but if it does come to that, all of these Geotab units are available at truck stops. So we can just, at any truck stop, we can just have you go pick one up and you can replace it. You don't have to come all the way back to a terminal or be rerouted and just totally mess up the schedule, the logistics of what you're doing in order to get this fixed. This seriously has been TIF's focus to make sure that it is going to be a smooth transition for you and that it is going to be your preferred way of communication and ELD. Amy says, Anna, if they're smart, they would subscribe and watch these videos also. Yeah, that too. But there is training provided, what Anna was saying, in the Transflo app itself. So once you click on the Transflo app, let me see if I can get you a visual here. Once you yeah, that too. Once you click on the Transflo app, you'll be able to see some of the training videos. I'm going to see if I can get you to one of these. I can't remember exactly where it was. There was the Transflo, this is the guide, the ELD guide. It's a PDF. You can link it to, or it's linked, in the ELD itself. If you click up in the upper right-hand corner, that's where you'll have the main menu as well. You'll have a lot of the different options to dig into. The nav, Copilot, here you go. This is the upper right-hand corner that I was telling you. You've got your weather. I'm going to pause this real quick. You've got your load information, your scan docs. Really, this is where all that information is available to you. Your accidents, Transflo ELD videos. These are the installation videos that Anna was talking about that we love. Amy says, wow, I bet that helps so much more, fewer issues for the drivers and the shop employees. 100% agree with you, Amy. Yeah, having these available at the truck stops, that's gonna make life a whole lot easier for you, less frustrating, and that alone can make everybody happy. So you've got the Copilot navigation up here in the upper right-hand corner. I've kind of got it hidden, but that again, that's the ALK, that's the premier routing, that's the maps. It's going to update you on your traffic, constant updates, just like Google does for you on your phone. You'll have those constant updates. Road closures, weather warnings, anything like that, you'll have right through that. Where did it go? I'm scrolling too fast through there. Any fuel optimization, that's going to be on here. Your settlements, like I said before, your scorecard, eventually all of that will be on here, available to you through not only the tablet, but the Transflo app on your phone as well. Now, with that being said, I wanted to see if I can get you over to the right screen here so that you can see a little bit more. Just transferring you back and forth here. Okay, so again, this is the Transflo app that you'll see more detail on the phone or on your phone. The hours of service is what the middle section will be. Those are your elogs right there. It'll show you how much time you have left. The duration on each thing, on duty, your cycle, all of that will be right there in the status. If you can see in this middle picture image, you've got the hours of service, status, in graph, elogs, and verify. These are all tabs that you'll need to be familiar with. The graph is the one on the far right. I love that I can see this graph because it is it's easy to see. It's like the paper logs where you know it's just visually it's easier to understand. Again, the ones that we were working with before kind of got confusing. They were harder to follow. You had to sometimes verify things a few too many times, and it was just you're just kind of getting lost in that. Adding pre-pass motion for scale bypass. Yes, Anna, good point. Infinity training through the tablet. If you're looking at the comments at all, Anna has got all of that information for you. She's adding just more and more detail about what's available and what will be available through this Transflo Geotab unit that will make it a little bit easier. There you go. There's the support information. Thanks, Anna. Okay, so just going a little bit further into this Transflo app, as I scroll down, when you log in, you're going to select your vehicle. Now the truck is really going to stay the same for the most part. It'll be remembering it once you log in. It'll remember your login information. It'll remember your vehicle and trailer. Now you can unassign it. When you need to unassign it, you can attach another trailer. So it isn't that you can't change that, but for the most part, it'll keep that in memory, so you don't have to do it every single time, which I think was part of the frustrations that we had, just taking that extra time where it would have been nice to just have it remembered. And then when you're coming down here, it'll show you this is more of your assigned logs, unassigned logs, what needs to be. Oh, you can't even see it. Sorry about that, you guys. If you log in and there's a time frame that needs to be assigned, it'll ask you to assign it to me or skip. You know, if it's in the shop, obviously it doesn't belong to you. It's going to need to go to skip. And then you're going to need to verify it. And you can verify just that day or you can verify multiple days. And then the next step is when you need to inspect. So you do need to make sure that you have okayed or verified the previous inspection before you can move on to a new inspection. So once you click on the new inspection, it'll really walk you through the steps right there. You go ahead and inspect. It'll ask for your trailer, what assets you have on the truck or that you're hauling. And as you scroll here, this will be the information that'll be available on that panel itself. The DVIR for the driver vehicle inspection reports available, your hours of service, your assets, again inspection, any settings, that's all going to be available under that menu. So again, you'll have the trailer. If it needs to be changed, you can go ahead and do that. If it's not listed, you need to add it, and any shipment information. So for your hours of service, when you go to that tab, so again, you're still in the status tab per se, and then that's under hours of service. Oh, sorry, you guys, I can see it on my screen, you just can't see it on yours. So Michael says, I'm taking a refresher course at a truck driver school next month. Are you guys hiring reefer drivers out of Chicago? We are hiring reefer out of Chicago. However, we do require 9 months of experience. So 9 months of tractor trailer experience for refrigerated and van and our Midwest flatbed. So again, on this hours of service, it'll show you how much time you are. You're in your 70 hours. You know, for all of you over the road, you're in your 70 hours. How much rest you have, which one you're actually in, how much drive time you have, how much of your day you have left, and then of course it gives you a little bit of information right here on the specifics. You know what the values are for each of them. And so continuing in that status tab, remember that's right up here in that picture in the upper left hand corner under the hours of service. It'll you can switch to drive. You can automatically move to on. You know, if you don't. So really, if you haven't moved in 5 minutes, it'll switch. It'll have a pop-up actually, and it'll remain in drive. But if you don't respond within a minute, then it'll go to on duty status. 2 hours, 1 hour, and 30 minutes before running out and going into violation for any of those counters. And also in the status tab, you have the recap. This was a question that was asked to me yesterday. If recap information will be available to you. Absolutely. Again, you've got your 70 as of tomorrow. It shows you how much you have each single day. So yes, you can absolutely view your recap. This will help making scheduling your day easier, planning your day ahead, and even your week ahead much easier for you. And you can see on the top here how much you have left. 8 hours, 8 hours, and then any exemptions if you need. So if you have if there are any weather issues, if you're moving in the yard, or if you're on personal conveyance, those are all things that'll all be available to you under the status screen under view exemptions. But keep in mind that when it comes to the personal conveyance, or when it comes to adverse driving conditions, it's something that you have to run by your fleet manager when it comes to the driving conditions, because every fleet's going to be a little bit more particular. Every fleet's going to be different in how things are affecting the adverse conditions. You know, what, like winter weather driving or construction or whatever it might be. Those are things that you're going to want to talk to your fleet manager about. And remember, with the personal conveyance, it's 30 minutes or 25 miles for personal conveyance. Okay, now from the status, I think I showed you the exemption. Let's make sure that I show you that so you can see what it looks like, because within the exemption you'll be able, there you go, you'll be able to choose apply today, start for the exemption. But again, they're pretty strict on the conditions around the exemption, so you do need to check with your fleet manager. Here is the graph tab, which is the second tab at the top of your screen. There we go. So you've got your status tab, and as you move, like literally tab to the right, you'll get your graph tab. This is going to be showing your hours of your actual logs itself. What is nice is that you've got green means verified, so it's color coordinated for you, so it's easy, just a quick glance to check it out. Green is verified. Gray is not verified or unverified. Yellow is going to represent the edited logs, and then the violations are all going to be in red. And as you can see here, you've got this green, and then you've got here, this is the gray that'll show that it's unverified logs. So at that point, they will need to be verified. So logs, the log tabs are going to show all your logs listed in the format here. This is the next tab over, and your duty status, date and time that you changed to that status. You'll also have how much you drove for the day, the duration of time spent for that day, and the location. So here's the the distance, the location, basically the nearest town or city or whatever on there. If there's any violation, you'll have that with a red box. This one says driving after more than 8-hour rest limit violation. That'll be indicated with an exclamation inside of a triangle. It'll be red and very clear for you to see that that is in violation. And then once everything is okayed and it looks good, you need to verify it. And you can you'll click the little check to verify it, and that'll give you a thumbs up, just like on Facebook. It'll give you a thumbs up so you know it's all good to go. And then you've got further in the logs tab, if you continue to scroll down, it'll allow for any additional details that you need to give, any comments, things like that, annotations. You've got the malfunction notifications that I mentioned before. If it's resolved, you need to go ahead and put all that information on there and save it. So this is what I mean by it's easier to read. I mean, it's you can just kind of go through it much easier. Anna says, caution, logs must be verified within 14 days of their creation. Absolutely, and you can verify per day or all days. Okay. And then of course your options tab, which is the furthest one over. You can see that here. But your option tab, it'll actually look like this. Excuse me. With your information and where your home terminal is. So what time zone you'll be on. Now this is another thing that'll be quite easy for you. This is the inspection. So when you go to do an inspection, again from the dashboard, you're going to need to enter into, this is going to be the inspection mode. All you do is you click on this and that'll bring you in there, and then it'll transfer the log information to the FMCSA. It'll display, it'll basically transfer all of that information over to them. Displaying the log, the vehicle inspection reports, it'll display that all on the screen. And basically, this is all the officer, the DOT officer, will see. They won't have access to any other parts of the unit. And then once you're done, you click on this little X. Can you see that? You click on this, or excuse me, you do not click on this X in the right-hand corner until you have sent in the information. Web service is going to be the preferred one. Web service, you also have the option to do email, but here's the thing. Email, you don't have to enter in an email address. The nice thing is they have the automatic based off of the location, but web services is definitely the preferred. And then once you're done with that, then you can exit, click on that X, and it'll ask you to return to the driver. It'll have this little pop-up right here to return to the driver. You can also select the hours of service tab to transfer the logs, like I said, to over. That's going to be right here in the inspection mode. It's going to be in the left-hand side, where again you were on for the DVIR. You're right here on the right-hand side. Hopefully I'm not making you sick as I scroll up and down on these things. Howard says, if you need to put chains on during a snowstorm, shouldn't you be on the road? For the most part, everybody's a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, we're letting that, we're holding that to you. You're the professional driver, and if you're putting chains on to go down the road, yeah, you probably shouldn't be. If you're putting chains on to get yourself into a safe spot or to get yourself out of trouble, then yes. But they're not meant to further your load necessarily. They're meant to put you into a safe spot to get you out of trouble. I'm with you on that one. Anna says, what was that about? Troubleshooting spots inside major truck stops? Yeah, so that's another option within this Transflo Geotab. I'll have to get that, see if I can, I'm not sure if I have a snapshot of that now that you say it, but it is also available to you here, which will be nice and easy for you. Again, so clicking over to the DVIR, the driver vehicle inspection report, this is going to have the company information, the date of the inspection. I don't know if you guys can see this. There we go. The date of the inspection, defects found, location of the inspection, who marked the defect, if it needs to be repaired. All of that information is going to be available. So click on the DVIR for the new inspection, and then to perform it, you're going to tap on that to get you to the dashboard. And the next screen, you'll see that what vehicle you're logged into. Let me get you to that. So what vehicle you're logged into, and then you'll expand that previous inspection so you can see a little bit more of the details in there. Now, if a defect is found, it needs to be identified. And again, another way that this Transflo Geotab system is super handy is that you just find the defect, you click on it, and then there's usually a drop down with even more options that you can specify a little bit more. So that you can, here's the thing, if you're not reporting these, and if you're not reporting any of the defects, then maintenance can't stay on top of those issues. And we need to make sure that your trucks are well maintained, because we don't want anything holding you up. We don't want to be at fault for preventing you from getting the miles that you're looking for. We know that your miles are your money, and you want to keep moving. Plus, most of you don't like to sit still, so you want to just keep moving. And if you're not taking care of the maintenance on it, or at least marking, doing your full pre-trip, which you should be finding any of these defects during your pre-trip. And then there's times that it'll happen during your trip. But if you're doing a proper pre-trip, you're going to catch a lot of those things. I think it was John or Josh, I couldn't remember who, last week mentioned they found some of the hoses were switched on them. And it was nice to know that, yes, that pre-trip did them justice and they were safe by it. Had they not, they could have gotten in a lot of trouble. Not necessarily from the company, but from just in general. They could have gotten themselves in a bind and lost a lot of downtime, even more downtime, because they're in no man's land taking care of something. So yes, so make sure that you are identifying the defects, and like for instance, this is a windshield. There we go. The category is windshield, and then it drops down: improper spraying, improper wiping, loose, insecure. This is all going to help the shop take care of whatever it is that you need taken care of, so that you're not going to have problems with it. You're not running into these. And then that can, at that point, be, moved on and repaired. You can say that it's repaired. So here's what it's going to look like when the inspection report, it's going to be in red saying that you need to repair it. And then once you've repaired it, it'll have that option for you right down here. If it's not necessary to repair it, it'll put it on there. But put a remark either way, so that the shop is aware of it, that you are aware of it, and that an officer later on for any other inspection would also be aware of it. What did I miss? Okay, I thought I missed a comment. Must not have. Okay, good. So far, any questions on this Transflo Geotab? Like I said, I do think it's going to be a lot easier for you. Yes, it'll tell you available parking. It'll give you more information on some of the truck stops that are available out there to you. The routing, the fuel stops, the fuel routing is on there as well. Scale functionality, that's on there. We'll have the scale functionality eventually with the pre-pass motion. That'll be in there. That will be one of a few things that won't come on until probably January. It's going to take until the end of the year, we expect, to get it in all of the trucks, but it should be really quick. It should be quicker than the installs for getting the TVs and the television software in there, the hardware as well, updated in all of the trucks, as well as the microwave. So this will be a little quicker. Plus, you've got the Transflo app available on your phone. You can start messing with that and learning your way around it. If you guys have any questions on it, let us know so that we can answer them, because I'm assuming if you guys have questions, so does somebody else, but we definitely need your input on this so that we can make it the best that it can be and provide you the information, the best information on it as well as possible. So it'll have the driver workflow on it. So I think it's called driver service cycle. I can't remember what exactly. But it'll have some of the bill of lading information. Because more and more customers we expect more and more customers to be wanting that electronic signature instead of handing over the bill of lading, the BLLs, in person. They're probably going to want those electronic signatures. So yes, we want your installs. We want your feedback. We already started the installs, and we will slowly but quickly at the same time start getting them out to everybody. We're trying to ease into this first week or two, and then after that, once we see that we aren't having any issues, then we will move at a quicker, faster pace to get them into everybody's truck. But yeah, just baby steps until we get them into a few where we're seeing that there aren't issues that are arising. So we like to see that. Yeah, I think that's about it on the elogs, the Transflo Geotabs. But feel free to ask any questions that you have. If you have any, best thing to do is either ask us here on the YouTube and we'll answer them, or through Facebook, facebook.com/DTL Inc. And we are available, of course, through that as well. Every Monday we go live on our Facebook channel to answer any questions. Every Tuesday we're live on our YouTube channel at noon Central to do that. But I've got a few more updates for you. You guys, by the way, fantastic work. You guys are doing an awesome job of staying on top of the loads, making sure that we've got the on-time deliveries, following our customers' guidelines, which I know can be frustrating for some of you, and you may not agree with some of the new requirements that they're having, but you are following through on them. We are respecting their wishes, and I thank you very much for doing that. You guys have you are a reflection of the company, and the company obviously is a reflection of you, and you guys are just shining bright. That sounds pretty corny, but you really are doing a fantastic job for us, and it is showing over and over with our customer reviews. So thank you guys for everything that you've done there. Risky said, did you find out about the truck washes? I wash my truck at least once a week or two. We're required to keep a clean truck inside and out, but I only get one a month. Yes, one a month, but if you send them in, we may be able to get more, but it's going to be a case by case. Howard says some trucks on the road look really bad on the road, dirty and company image. Yep, that again, same thing that I was saying earlier is, we are a reflection. Decker Truck Line is a reflection of you, and vice versa. You're a reflection of Decker Truck Line. So yes, taking care of your trucks, not only the way it looks, but the maintenance on it is super important for us to stay on top of that. So reflections. So yes, we need to keep them clean. If you are getting those additional truck washes, I know John Hodges, Corbin is another one. There's several of you who are getting your truck washed and taking that initiative to go in and do it yourselves as well. So, send them in. I can't guarantee you that they will all be reimbursed, but if you are getting them, we can definitely try and get more reimbursed on those. But again, it's a case by case on that. Yeah, what was I saying before? Oh, I just wanted to thank you guys for all the hard work that you're doing. It has most definitely not gone unnoticed. But at the same time, August is predicted to be very, very busy for us. Freight continues to just keep going up. The freight volumes keep going up, and we love to see that, of course. But that just means that we need to be more diligent of our time and know our schedule, more in control of our schedule. And I think these new ELDs, this Geotab unit, will make life a whole lot easier for you and cut into less prep time but being more prepared. The more successful you are is usually because of how prepared you are for obstacles that come along the way. Because we can't always predict what's going to happen, but being prepared to how to handle or options on how to handle situations is really important on our success. And the more prepared you are, more likely the more successful you will be as well. I think that this Geotab system, this Transflo Geotab system, will help you to get more prepared with less prep time, which is beneficial in many aspects. Buster Balls, reflect. Yep, 10-4, you betcha. Oh, good point. Anna says, anytime you're at a terminal, if you can, like Anna says, anytime you're at a terminal, we can get that truck washed for you too. If it wasn't, even if it wasn't in the Blue Beacon. Bruce is the man. That's exactly right. Bruce is the man to ask. Best thing to do, Howard, is to contact Bruce directly if you haven't already, and he's at extension 2180. Taylor's at 2181, and either one of them can help you answer those questions. But it's best to talk to them one-on-one on that. Also, for a reminder, Night Ops told me that they're seeing more and more issues with the comm checks, or I guess more of the lumper checks. So if you're going in for a lumper, if you can call the customer first and find out, do you accept the paper checks or only electronic checks? Because as it is, Night Ops, who they wear a lot of hats. They are busy men and women, and we are very thankful for them being there at all hours, 24/7. And they do a fantastic job for us, but they do wear a lot of hats. And when we're having them do the same thing twice, it's just wasted effort, and it cuts into your time clock, and we know how important your time clock is. So that being said, in a long route, can you please contact the customer and find out, do you accept paper checks or is it only the electronic checks? Because if we can find that out, we don't have to create a paper check and then cancel a paper check if they only do electronic checks and then get an electronic check. We can just jump ahead and do the electronic checks. However, if they do the paper check, awesome, let's do that route. Okay. Howard says he rarely gets into the terminal. So yes, that's why I suggest that you call Bruce, because he's the one in charge of that. So he'll be able to, he's the one that can approve it or not. Night Ops, yes, thank you for giving me that number, Anna. If Night Ops, if you have any questions for them, their number is 515-576-4141. And again, a huge shout out to them, to all of those who are on the Night Ops and everything. But yeah, Willie wanted to share that information, and just thank you guys for everything that you're doing. And again, he appreciates everything. Let's see. Road repairs is the message, the safety message that you're seeing this week. If you haven't already, remember some of the three main issues that you see out on the road are tires, especially this time of year, that heat, tires, brakes, and lighting. Usually in August, at least it's been in the past, the inspection blitz in August has often been on brakes or on brake systems. So there's a reason for that, and one of the main reasons is it's easy to see, it is preventable, and the other reason is when it's hot out and it's like this, we need to take care of those. So yes, brakes, tires, those are things that are very common, or common roadside repairs that we see. Lighting is another one. So make sure, as always, as a reminder, to do your pre-trip properly. And any issues that you have, you must get them to our maintenance support so that we can repair that for you quickly and safely, and take care of that. The amount, really the cost of doing it out on the road can be 8 times more expensive than having it done in the shop. So don't be surprised when we're trying to get you into the shop to take care of it, because taking care of an item, whatever it might be, if it's a $200 item in the shop versus out on the road, I mean, versus a $1,600 item out on the road, it just makes sense to take care of it in the shop. The sooner we know about it, the sooner we can schedule it and get it in. So, yes, Amy says, stay safe, everyone. Keep trucking. Gotta run. We'll see you next week, Amy. Also, I wanted to give you a heads up on some of the things that are going here at Decker. Stay tuned for next week because we've got lots of updates for you on some increased opportunity here and just more ways to look out for you, and financially as well as equipment wise and everything. So please stay tuned for next week's live on our Facebook channel, which is 4 p.m. Central, and then at noon Central here on our YouTube channel. We really would like you to join us for that. And make sure if you haven't already subscribed that you do, because that information is very pertinent to you for anybody that's currently here at Decker, and if someone's coming aboard and interested in coming aboard. So speaking of coming aboard to Decker, let's talk a little bit about some of the positions available. I only want to take a few minutes of your time because I obviously recognize your time is important, and I don't want to cut into it too much, but I do want to make sure that you're aware of some of the different positions we have available. We have a dedicated position out of Tifton, Georgia. So if you have flatbed experience, if you're interested in that position, whether you are currently with Decker right now and live in the Tifton area and you're interested in it, or if you would be new to Decker, either one. But it's 1 year of flatbed experience that we require for it. It is a Conestoga trailer. So Conestoga trailer, you're home really every other night. So it could look like basically Georgia, Northern Florida, South Carolina, Alabama. Those are going to be the main, Tennessee. Those are going to be the main areas that you're running for that. It's aluminum, and again with the Conestoga trailer. So you're leaving out usually one morning, and you won't be back until the next afternoon, evening. For the most part, that's what it looks like. We have 2 different positions available for it. It pays 45 cents a mile. However, there is a guaranteed pay, a minimum of $7.50 a week. So no matter what, you're getting the home time and you're getting the pay. So you're getting a guaranteed pay. So yes, obviously we're shooting for 1,000 plus a week for you, but no matter what, you've got that safety net of $7.50 a week. So if you have questions on it, if it's something you're interested, this telephone number right here, 888-668-0698, will get you directly to us. We'll be able to answer any of those questions for you, and talk to a recruiter, and we'll give you all of those details in not only the benefits, but other available positions that might be out of your area. But the benefits, the pay, the running routes, all of that. So again, it's 888-668-0698. Oh, Anna popped up with that information on here as well, to get a hold of us. Or if you already know it's the position you want, go ahead, log on to drivedecker.com and fill out the application. It's an Intelli app, so easy peasy, and get it in there, and we'll be able to work to get you approved. Now, speaking of the southern area, in the southeast, we also have flatbed. Obviously, it's our main terminal for our over-the-road flatbed based out of Bessemer, Alabama. If you live in northern Georgia or northern Alabama, or even Charlotte, North Carolina, you would be getting home on a weekly basis for it. And basically, for the most part, running the southeast and midwest. You're getting home like on a Friday night or Saturday morning and leaving back out on a Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on that load. Howard says, I'm going to put low rider tires on my truck and have it lowered. You know what I should do is show you guys some of the pictures that I've gotten here this last week. Speaking of clean trucks and low riders, that picture there was Anthony Clayton and his daughter. If you guys want to share some of these pictures, send them my way. Facebook.com/DTL Inc. I love these photos. They're gorgeous. Some of these. I think that was John Hodges' pictures that he was sending in. The bat. The bat was Ken Stuckey. But yeah, send in your pictures, you guys. We love to see them. We love to see what you're eating. It does make me jealous, and I do want these recipes. I love this dog. I have no idea why those pictures and Joe's pictures are sideways, but send them our way. Let us see some of those. Isn't that cute? Oh. Some of the adventures that you've got going on as well, any hikes that you're seeing. But also, while you're coming through, let me tell you a little bit more about the positions. In that southeast, it's flatbed. It does require 1 year of flatbed experience. So 1 year of flatbed experience, tractor trailer. Again, 888-668-0698 to get us any of that information. Now we also have a dedicated position. That was the Tifton position. We also have a position based out of Fort Dodge, Iowa that's dedicated. It is a hopper position, and it goes from Fort Dodge to Blair, Nebraska and back. It's home daily, and that one pays per shift. So the position that's available right now is an 11 p.m. position. Starts at 11 p.m. but the pay is $250 for Monday through Friday, and for Saturday and Sunday it pays $275 per shift. So let me explain how these shifts work, because no, you're not working 7 days a week every week. It's actually 2 days on and then 2 days off, and then 3 days on and then 3 days off. So it's about, I think it works out to be about 4.5 days a week that you're on. But so two days on, it's roughly anywhere from, I think 1 week it'll be $850, the next is like $1150 or somewhere, $1125 or so for the week is what you'll see. And that's multiple days home. Well, it's every day home because it's home daily, but it's multiple days off throughout the week and on the weekend. Now, the way that it goes on Saturday and Sunday, there we go, is because it goes 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off, and then back 2 on, 2 off. Is every other weekend you're getting off, which means every other weekend you're working the Saturday and Sunday. Well, that's when it pays $275 for that shift instead of the $250. So again, if you have any questions on it, let us know. This is the number 888-668-0698. You do need to live in the Fort Dodge area for that position. Now for the short haul position out of Fort Dodge, we've got not only out of Fort Dodge, Omaha, Nebraska, we've got a couple of different areas for the Fort Dodge short haul that we'd be able to open up. Let us know where you live, give us your zip code, and just call us 888-668-0698. We can give you more specifics on the positions that are available for you, not only for the Fort Dodge short haul, which is a guaranteed pay of $1,000, and it's home multiple times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. And then we also have the guaranteed pay out of our flatbed divisions. By the way, did you guys know that we expanded our guaranteed pay area? If you didn't, you now know that. So we have expanded our guaranteed pay in the flatbed division. If you call us, I'll give you more details. And so yes, we're still doing from Mason City to Fort Dodge to Chicago, up to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and really along that route. But if you live in Iowa City, if you live all the way over to Columbus, Ohio, or down to Louisville, Kentucky, and over to St. Louis, Missouri, and everything in between there, everything. That's also part of our guaranteed pay for our flatbed division. So you betcha. So, yep, Howard, you need to send me some pictures. Facebook.com/GTL Inc. But for the guaranteed pay, that's $14.50 a week. $14.50 a week. We would love to see some of you in that guaranteed pay for that flatbed division. We've worked hard to be able to provide this for you, and we're very thankful for operations and customer service and all who have put their heads together to make this work out. And questions? Give them to us, 888-668-0698. What else? We have our guaranteed pay in our Midwest refrigerated divisions, as our Midwest refrigerated division as well. We have, which is $12.50 a week. We have our over-the-road refrigerated out of the Midwest and our over-the-road coast-to-coast position out of Missoula, Montana. Same telephone number, different information obviously based off of your area. 888-668-0698. Like I said, I respect your time, so I am going to let you be, but give us a call if you have questions on those different positions available. And next week, we'll give you even more of an update with some of those positions and some of the new information that you'll be getting on that. So awesome. Yep, update, $14.50 guaranteed pay for the Midwest flatbed. Awesome, possum. Howard says, I'll be sending those pictures through Decker Mail. Awesome. Decker Mail is jbutler@deckermail.com. Let me send that to you. jbutler@deckermail. That'll get directly to me. And if you're going to send them by email. So, awesome. Okay, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week, really. And we look forward to hearing from you on our telephone there, 888-668-0698. Don't forget those pictures. You can either email or send them through Facebook, facebook.com/DTLinc. Oh, and as I'm speeding through the end of this here, do not forget, if you have a question that you'd like answered on the podcast, send us a message, podcast@deckermail.com, and we'll get that to the right person. All right, you guys, you have a wonderful rest of your week. Please continue to be safe, and thank you so much for all of the effort that you've been doing in taking care of all of us out there.